His name is Marvin Mulligan.
You ripped this lady off. She thinks you ripped her off.
I went bad. I'm trying to get it straightened out. That's the best I can do.
Her name is Margaret Bogan.
I just don't know how you get did me like that.
A few years ago, Marvin Mulligan was working this street in Detroit. Margaret was the perfect victim. Her house was paid for, and it needed fixing up. Mulligan had a company, Grand Building, said he could improve her place and get her a home equity loan to pay for it. Margaret really liked Marvin.
I thought he was nice, you know. Well, I guess I got wrong.
Arthur is Margaret's son. He's been watching out for his mom ever since his dad passed away.
My father worked 39 years and 8 months, almost 40 years at Ford Motor Company.
Arthur wasn't sure he trusted this Marvin Mulligan and his building company, but he agreed to drive his mom down to the office so she could apply for the loan Marvin had suggested. Then he drove her back home. Remember, Margaret thought she was just applying for the loan that day.
I leave. I wasn't gone an hour and a half. My mom called me back saying he just came back with a check for $23,000.
He got the check the same day you filled out the loan?
An hour and a half later.
Margaret says Marvin's visit surprised her.
I said, what you doing here? And he said, I got your check.
Caught off guard and without her son around, Margaret signed the check over to Marvin. He said he had a crew ready to start the job.
That's what made me sign it like a fool, I guess. I was wrong.
With the stroke of a pen, Margaret had mortgaged her fully paid-for house and given Marvin Mulligan $23,000. But it gets even worse, because when Margaret got her first mortgage statement, she found out the loan was for $40,000. And remember, she never even got one penny.
What happened to the rest of the money?
That's what I wanted.
For 3 years, they've been trying to find that out, and to find Marvin Mulligan.
After she signed that check, I tried to call him. I couldn't call him on that phone. The office was closed, wasn't there.
So where is Marvin? Living here in a nice apartment in West Bloomfield, out on his balcony, having a smoke, taking a nice morning walk, while Margaret sits every day on her rickety old porch.
Now I'm back in debt again.
Sitting on the porch, Marvin took thousands of dollars to fix.
Taking advantage of senior citizens like you did.
No kidding.
That's pretty sad.
Yep.
Something needs to be done about it.
It sure does. See, Marvin Mulligan isn't a builder. He's a breaker, a long-time lawbreaker. This guy's been getting locked up since the time Elvis Presley was actually singing this song.
Is this you? Armed robbery, 1959?
Yes, I've had a few things.
Okay. Is that you?
What's that?
Filing false returns, possession with intent to distribute cocaine, aiding and abetting?
I went to jail for a few things, yes.
So are you a crook?
No, I'm not a crook. That's why I'm in business.
Business? I got news for you, Marvin. Being an unlicensed contractor is against the law, too.
You don't have a contractor's license, do you?
No, I was using my son's license.
You're using your son's license? I don't think you can do that.
Well, sure, I work under his license.
But I don't think you can sign the contract. I think you have to be a salesperson if you do the sale.
I am a salesperson.
You're a builder salesperson?
Yes.
Are you licensed with the state?
No.
Well, then you're not.
Okay, whatever.
And remember that instant mortgage Margaret says Marvin tricked her into? Well, turns out Marvin's mortgage man got busted in a big sting. But Marvin claims to know nothing about that.
You know, he's in trouble for mortgage fraud, right?
That I don't know.
He also says he doesn't know why the mortgage was for $39,000. Says he only got $23,000 to do the job he didn't do.
I'm hurt, mostly.
Listen, I don't want to talk to you about that, okay?
Gee, you think Marvin's rushing off to get the crew together to finish Margaret's job? Probably not.
You're just trying to get cute with me.
I'm not trying to get
You're
cute.
trying to get cute, my friend.
I'm not trying to get cute.
What are you bringing up
You're
my
just
past
a big,
for? What's
well,
that
you're
got
a
to do
big
with me in
crook. You're a
business?
big
I'm
crook.
not
You
a
ripped
big
off
crook.
this lady.
I was working legitimately, okay?
Okay, Marvin, you don't want to talk about the past. Let's talk about the present. You're in the Hall of Shame. As of right now, working as an unlicensed contractor is a misdemeanor. But as I told you, the state Senate just passed a bunch of new bills inspired in part by my Hall of Shame stories. And one of those new laws would make working without a contractor's license a felony. As for Margaret's loan, she just got a letter from the mortgage company saying they're investigating it.